High Mountain Hunting Supply presents the Northwest Outdoorsmen.
Almost had a pretty good chance there.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thank you.
Holy smokes, that fish is big.
What do you think?
Good.
Yeah, beautiful bull.
Nice fish.
That's a nice coping.
It's cool. I know it's not a small one, let's put it that way.
He's a good one.
Boy, he has good lines, that dog.
Man, that's a nice bull. Nice one. That was an awesome bite.
This could be the one.
It's pretty good.
Well, let's just get in that little draw right there, this first one, and go down, see what we see there.
This week on the Northwest Outdoorsmen, Oregon and Washington provide a wide variety of bird hunting, and the Northwest Outdoorsmen take advantage of what the season has to offer. High Mountain Hunting Supply presents the Northwest Outdoorsmen, brought to you by Hunt the Sun Safaris, Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Pacific Calls, The Hunting Couple, Max Lure. The Northwest Outdoorsmen look forward to September 1st all year as it marks the beginning of fall hunting. Dove hunting is available to Northwest hunters during the month of September, a seemingly very short 4 weeks. The bird numbers are generally greatest in the first part of the month before the onset of the first cold fall storm. The many fields and old farms in central Washington are where Mike Harrod has hunted for most of his life, and this fall is no exception. It's time for Mike to sharpen his wing shooting skills.
I would say we about probably 13, 14 when we first started serious. Threw the tree in the water, we travel. Nice. But yeah, by high school, you know, we would all come out in the morning before we went to school, and we'll get out of school and come out and hunt doves. There'd be 6, 7 of us just about every day during dove season. We'd be hunting someplace or another. Yeah, we'd end up going to school looking just like this, and nobody cared. Are you loaded, Bubba? Okay. Those two just lit in there. They come right out from where Bubba's at. You can see how he's not out over it because it rocks him back. Because they hadn't even started feeding or watering or anything yet. Uh-oh, come on. Too big a reach for me. Yeah, you can't take dove hunting very serious. It's mainly just a practice. That's why you go down and buy a couple cases of shells before you come out, because some days you're going to do well and some days you're not. But there's 2 of them, this one right there. Here we go, Rich. Here we go. Come on, baby. He's going to go in the sun. Oh, I didn't even come close to him. Like, Wolfman, I ain't got a shot. I'm pulling out. Out of here. See him just drop them tail feathers. I mean, it was just like, that was awesome. Yeah, of course, it was at my expense. It wasn't that good, but. Usually by the end of the month, now it's a month now, it used to only be a 10-day season, but usually by the end of it, you're pretty good at shooting. Got him. Still a small bird though. Beautiful shimmer though.
Nice bird.
Yeah, that's right. Took 2 to get him. Like a field like this is a perfect scenario because we got gravel, we got water, and we have feed. So most of these doves right here will just stay in this corridor. And they've been out just kind of waiting out the afternoon in the sun, and now they're starting to move around. Some are feeding, some down here going to the gravel. Some are getting shot. Oh, One right behind it. High, up high. Oh. I'm shooting 7.5s, just 7-8 ounce loads, 20 gauges, yeah, not a lot to them. If you're picky and you wait till they're up close, you don't waste a lot of shells, but then you're not having as much fun as everybody else. So. Dang it. Oh, yeah. Way up high. Missed him, right behind him. Now we're having fun. Now we're starting to have some fun. Money. We ain't eating tofu. That's a pretty clean shot right there, boy. Not huge birds, but these are good ones. They still eat. They eat.
Coming up after the break, ultimate archery experience. Once in a lifetime. Life-changing. Unforgettable African adventure. Archery hunting like this can only be experienced in South Africa. Book your hunt today at highmountainhuntingsupply.com. Oregon cattlemen have a heritage rich with ambition, and they care deeply about the sustainability of the state's natural resources. Producers big and small are represented by the Oregon Cattlemen's Association, formed in 1913. Today, the association works to promote environmentally and socially sound industry practices and provide hunter access.
The things that we do for our business, open space, crop, even irrigated agriculture, benefits wildlife hugely.
The Oregon Cattlemen's Association. Cattlemen care. High Mountain Hunting Supply presents the Northwest Outdoorsmen. Brought to you by Hunt the Sun Safaris, Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Pacific Calls, The Hunting Couple, Max Lure. We now travel to the eastern edge of Washington, where Mike and Dax Harrod hope to fool early season Canadian geese. The numbers of waterfowl in the Pacific Flyway increase greatly during November and December. But in October, local geese are all to be found. If you find the right field, the first hunt can be fantastic, as the Harrods are about to discover.
Yeah, we come out here one night. We noticed that there had been some geese trading, but looked like there was some potential, so we came out here and we set up our lay-down blinds at night. It was going to be cold that night, so we wanted to let them kind of get frost, look more natural in here.
Yeah, and the one thing about these geese, you want to spread them out.
You want to throw a couple of those shells down?
The real thing about goose hunting is, even though a lot of times the geese don't fly till it's been an hour or so, sun's come up, you always want to be out before the sun comes up. You never know. I mean, there could be geese come in.
Nothing like laying in some alfalfa.
You don't want to be rushed. There may be a flight that comes off early and you want to be there. Yeah, we had a lot of groups, but kind of had that feel because they weren't coming direct to us. They were coming from all different directions. They obviously hadn't been trading back and forth on one particular spot, so they were curious. They'd come and they'd give us a look. For the most part, they were just landing wherever they felt comfortable landing.
What the heck happened there?
Still going away?
It sounds like it.
There was Dax and Cousin Rich and myself and my son's roommate Mike had never been out, seen any hunting take place, so he wanted to come out and look around.
I think it's a great place to take a nap. That's what I think. In between flights.
You're no more bad luck than you are good luck. It's just geese. Oh, I think we took about 13 or so decoys and some shells and just kind of made small little family groups that looked like they They're all comfortable together, but they were still in their family groups like you see the graders. If you look in front, we've got a small spread on the right, and a little bit larger on the left with a space in the middle. Hopefully that'll draw them so they'll land in there someplace close. You're to 4 o'clock right now.
Oh, dang. Come on in, boys.
It seems like almost every time you come out, even if you're having a hard day, you'll get one to pull off a group. He or she just seems to be more curious. It just wanted some company, I guess. Right amongst everything else. So. They going away? Rich, jump him up and kill him. Ready? Go. You.
This guy's a killer.
Why can't I? Oh, I got my couple. Pretty slow day, but we saw a lot of geese. First day was the money hole right there. It had been just obvious. I'd been coming out in the evenings and driving by sometimes in the morning, and they were going directly from that piece of water in the morning right into the field. They were landing within the same 40 yards almost every time. Yeah, the first morning, cousin Rich and my son Dax and I, we come out, we just had 3 lay-down blinds. Yeah, it was foggy. The interesting thing about those groups is we weren't really breaking them down. They weren't coming over and working in circles where we were having to call a lot and flag a lot. By the time they got to the first part of the field, they were already on the deck. They were just going to where they were going to go. Go. Let it rain. First time out of layout, he couldn't find his safety. He was so excited. And I don't blame him. I said, I've been there before. I've pulled the trigger 2-3 times with no shells in there and wondered why a bird didn't fall. I didn't even know I didn't shoot. So it is exciting. It's big fun right there. We just happened to be where they were going to go.
Last time when that one just laid out right there, and I just got a full-on shot at him, and he took that tumble. That was pretty.
10-pounder? Great shoot.
Coming up after the break,
Hey everybody, it's Kelsey with High Mountain, and I'm excited to announce that we have become the Northwest representative for Hunt the Sun Safaris. If you're looking for an opportunity of a lifetime to go hunt one of the most incredible places along the legendary Serengeti, where Elmer Keith wrote some of his best works, this is your opportunity. Check out our website at highmountainhuntingsupply.com. That's highmountainhuntingsupply.com. Click on the safari link and check us out for the hunt of a lifetime.
The Northwest Outdoorsmen features Northwest residents hunting, fishing, and enjoying the Pacific Northwest. Just average sportsmen doing what the majority of sportsmen do, and that's doing it on their own.
Visit the Harrod Outdoors website for information about upcoming episodes, recipes from the Harrod's Cookhouse, Season 1 DVDs, knife sharpeners, and Harrod Outdoor gifts, including fishing lure earrings for outdoor women.
Outfit yourself or buy them for gifts at harrodoutdoors.com.
High Mountain Hunting Supply presents the Northwest Outdoorsmen, brought to you by Hunt the Sun Safaris, Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Pacific Calls, The Hunting Couple, Max Lure. Oregon may not be the first state that comes to mind when thinking of turkey hunting, but there are great hunting opportunities for turkeys with relatively low hunting pressure. If it were not for turkeys, Northwest hunters would have a long, dry spell between the end of waterfowl season in January and the anticipated dove season in September. Turkey numbers throughout the Northwest have been on the rise in the past couple of decades, which now provides an excellent opportunity for the Northwest Outdoorsmen. As usual, the Harrod family heads afield together, and this week, one of the Harrod women gets her chance to hunt these wary birds.
Oh, I've never been turkey hunting before. I don't know what to do.
No, they're not native to Oregon or really any of the western states. In 1961, we got birds from Kansas and Texas, I believe, and released them in a couple of different places in eastern Oregon. Wallowa County was one of those places. In 1965, we had enough birds in that local area around that release site where we could have a season. Initially they were Merriam's, and then in the more recent years, all of our transplants have been Rio Grandes, and so they're the bulk of our birds now. But on a normal winter here, you're right, they'll come to the lower elevation valley areas where people are feeding livestock. But when they start moving back out in the spring and people start going after them in the spring gobbler season, boy, they become pretty wary quick.
Good thing I didn't hit each other. When I turned 12, I finally got my hunting license and I started doing mostly deer hunting, and I went elk hunting once. Going to Eastern Oregon was my first out-of-state hunt, and it was also my very first turkey hunt as well. I was very excited to go to Eastern Oregon. I knew there was some good hunting there, and I heard from my uncle that there was quite a bit of turkeys out in that area, so I was pretty excited. I was hunting with my dad, my brother, and my cousin Boone.
You had to have four dinners, like.
One thing that's been really special for me is to pass along the tradition of hunting and fishing, the same passion that I have to be in the mountains. So when my daughter said that she wanted to go bird hunting with me in Eastern Oregon, well, I was really excited.
We got up pretty early, got our stuff all ready. We drove out to a few spots. We would hike for a bit, stop and listen, and then we would set up blind if we heard something. If not, we would just keep going. Woo, woo. Nothing came in, but after a while we saw an owl, which was really cool. I've never seen an owl before. No, we heard quite a few things. They seemed timid. We were kind of just chasing birds.
I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of our time that first day hiking just because we couldn't get anything to come in.
Where's the road? You guys didn't hit each other?
Oh, I got hit like 3 times.
Hunting with Boone and Tyler was fun. Boone was decoy man and helped set up blind man. He would sneak out and set up our decoys and sneak back for us. After a while, the first day we finally heard a bird. We set up right next to a tree. We watched one come in right behind the snowbank. He was taking a while to come in, and I was all set up and ready to go, except I just needed to cough really bad, and I just couldn't hold it back. I was scratching my throat and kind of spooked it. Yeah, towards the end of the day, Ty and I got a little restless because we had woken up so early, spent all day hiking, and just getting a little frustrated with not being able to have something come in. So we hiked around for a little bit, called a little bit, and still no luck, and headed back to camp.
First Oregon turkey.
Dick Smithson, a good friend of ours,
Time to go for the longbeards.
came with us, and he got his turkey on the first day, so he spent the next couple of days hunting around with me and helping call. Well, the area that we were hunting in had a whole bunch of turkeys.
A person that wants to come on a turkey hunt and actually get out and cover a little bit of ground and find birds, it really provides a good hunt. It's not something where you're just going to come and park your truck and get out and shoot a bird, but for the guy that really wants a true turkey hunt, in my way of thinking anyway, it's a pretty good opportunity.
One of the best places to see birds was a large meadow just near camp. So we headed out from camp at first light and set up in the edge of the meadow. We could hear several birds calling, so we called back, and several started coming, but they were all jakes.
Kind of Jake-like. I don't think I'm going to.
And I passed up a number of jakes because I really wanted to get a bird with a long beard. The next day, Ron and I hiked into this area that had several little benches and set up and started calling. And we could tell that something was coming in.
Next on the Northwest Outdoorsmen.
I see him. I saw him. There's a
Jake. Oh, yeah.
Oregon cattlemen have a heritage rich with ambition, and they care deeply about the sustainability of the state's natural resources. Producers big and small are represented by the Oregon Cattlemen's Association, formed in 1913. Today, the association works to promote environmentally and socially sound industry practices and provide hunter access.
The things that we do for our business, open space, crop, even irrigated agriculture, benefits wildlife hugely.
The Oregon Cattlemen's Association. Cattlemen care.
Hey everybody, it's Kelsey with High Mountain, and I'm excited to announce that we have become the Northwest representative for Hunt the Sun Safaris. If you're looking for an opportunity of a lifetime to go hunt one of the most incredible places along the legendary Serengeti, where Elmer Keith wrote some of his best works, this is your opportunity. Check out our website at highmountainhuntingsupply.com. That's highmountainhuntingsupply.com. Click on the safari link and check us out for the hunt of a lifetime.
High Mountain Hunting Supply presents the Northwest Outdoorsmen, brought to you by Hunt the Sun Safaris, Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Pacific Calls, The Hunting Couple, Max Lure. Welcome back to turkey hunting in Northeast Oregon.
Sounds like he's quite a ways yet.
And I passed up a number of jakes because I really wanted to get a bird with a long beard. The next day, Ron and I hiked into this area that had several little benches and set up and started calling. And we could tell that something was coming in.
No, I was close. Wished he'd have been a longbeard, just a little old Jake.
A good friend of mine, Dick Smithson, joined us.
He kept gaining elevation. Really? Yeah.
As we started hiking down the road, I could see that there were several turkeys through the trees. We thought we were probably busted, but the birds just kind of kept milling around in the trees down there.
Right in that little bunch of trees.
And so we just kept walking in real slow. Dick just stayed behind me and he just kept calling real softly and we just kept moving together. It seemed like it just took forever. I'm sure it was only a few minutes, but it seemed like hours. Finally, the birds moved over the edge out from a little patch of trees and crossed this opening and had just gone down in some brush. And so I was finally able to sneak up over the edge and make a good shot. Bird down. I mean, they saw me the whole time and I just kept walking. Little fuzzy Jake right there.
Well, the season was about over and I finally decided I just needed to take a Jake.
12. Yeah, and you were right behind me doing that. That worked out great.
So it was springtime in Eastern Oregon. It was just starting to get warm. All the flowers were starting to bloom. It was sunny out. It was a good weekend to go hunting. I like being outside, just the wildlife, the trees, everything. I like hunting because it's a challenge. You spend all that time working so hard to find something, and once you finally do, your adrenaline's pumping, you're all excited, and it's just fun. So we're driving around, stopping every once in a while, trying to hear something, kind of our last day. We heard one in the distance, so we parked and took off hiking. We hiked down a draw, across the creek, up a draw, up onto a bench, and that's where we heard the turkeys the closest. So we set up our spot. Tyler snuck out, put up the decoy, set up under a tree with a branch hanging over so that we were covered a little bit. We sat there for a while and heard them calling, so we called back. A few minutes later, we could kind of see them coming over the little hillside that they were behind. Finally, about dark, they started coming in. I took a shot, I missed. Well, we had sat there for like 10 minutes and I was ready to shoot, so my arms are getting weak, I was getting shaky, and I wish I'd been more prepared. Really disappointed, really mad.
I was laughing.
It was still a fun day. It was cool seeing all these turkey run up onto us like that and getting a chance to shoot at one. When we hiked back, we had to cross a creek again, and this time it was dark, or getting close to the dark. It's kind of scary. Couldn't see where I was going, stuff was still a little bit icy. The turkey hunt was really fun. I'd do it again. Watching them come in like that was really cool because they were coming pretty fast. Yeah, definitely want to get one, not miss.
Now it's time for another Harrod's Cookhouse recipe brought to you by Michele's, Spokane's spice and gluten-free bakery since 1948. Today we're making dove rumaki. Dove is similar to duck or goose meat and can be used like waterfowl when cooking. Place cleaned dove breast meat into a bowl and mix with teriyaki sauce so that the meat is covered. Marinate in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours. Cut bacon strips in half and place on a cookie sheet. Place 1/2 of a marinated dove breast on each strip of bacon. Add a sliced water chestnut and a pickled jalapeno slice to each. Roll the bacon around each combination and stick onto wooden skewer. Place rumaki skewer on a barbecue over medium heat and cook until golden brown. These are great game day treats that will disappear in a hurry. For this and other great recipes, visit the Harrod Outdoors website. Tune in next week for another great wild game recipe.
You know, some of the biologists believe that, you know, if we can't, you know, if we can only have X number of birds without feeding them, then that's what we're going to have. But our decision here has been to try to keep populations as strong as we can, and because we have so much deep snow as opposed to some of the other districts, you know, we've decided to provide that feed for the birds in the winter, and it's helped us out.